everybody! Welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways. A homestead in the desert. All that haze over there over the tops of those mountains. That's the line fire burning in Big Bear. And I just saw it on the news that it's in such steep terrain. All they can do is try to keep it controlled and let it burn out. So anyway, nice day today. Sun's getting a little bit low in the sky there. Going to get ready to go down. The dogs are all fed. The chickens are fed. Was plenty of water out, but I'll bet you when I get back over that way, it's all gone. Because these guys drink a lot of water. And water is getting a little on the low side here. But I can't deprive them of their water. They need it out here in the desert, just like I do. Well, I was starting to burn some excess cardboard I have laying around. And the dogs must have dragged this one over here because I had it set over here. There we go. I have to cut that up and burn it in the pit, but when it's windy, I don't burn. Yep, water bowl's empty. That one's pretty low and that one's pretty low, so I got those green bottles up there with water in them and I just fill them up. So for one of my viewers wanted me to show the chlorine, the pool chlorine that I use. And this is it, the HDX chlorinating liquid. This is out of Home Depot. That's what the HDX is. And the only thing is that this is shock treatment. Okay, they didn't have regular chlorinating liquid. It would not have the shock treatment on there. But the shock treatment works actually a little better. It's just a little more expensive. And it's a stronger chlorine. So it comes in a box like this with two 1-gallon bottles in it. And I have one of the empties here. And this is the empty. So there's the specs on what's in here. And sodium hypochlorite, that's salt-based. So that's only 10% of that, though. There's 90% other ingredients. I love when they do that, other ingredients. So anyway, there's two gallons that come in here. And a gallon lasts me in my toilet alone, putting in about a quarter cup every morning after I flush. I would say it lasts me about a month. So this box will last me 2 months. So I have to buy 6 boxes of this stuff a year. So anyway, I hope that helps you on that. So you can see I got my blocker panel in here. So I don't have the raiders of the lost biscuits getting in. It looks like they tried to climb over it because it's normally up like this. And it's knocked down. But it's getting that time of day to shut things off. We're down to, I can't see it there with the light, but down to 57% in the battery. And I'm running a charger on it plugged into the cabin power because cabin power is still at 100%. So I'll get this thing back up to full charge and then I'll reset the shunt and the battery monitor gauge to make sure it's in the proper position, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I got my ladder ready for tomorrow's job. I got to get up into the attic of a house. While I'm talking about that, I want to say there's people have an idea that they're going to save money by hiring workers out of Home Depot parking lots. And I got to tell you, you're not going to save any money. It's going to cost you money. it's going to cost you more than the original job. Because 9 times out of 10, those guys, when you ask them if they're qualified to do something, they'll say, yeah, 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 yeah. And they are not qualified. So one of my neighbors, or two of my neighbors, hired some guys out of the parking lot who said they were electricians. And it was such a good price. They said, well, we're going to go with you guys. Well, those electricians screwed up everything in that house. They cut all the existing original wiring, which was all done right. The only thing that needed to be done was modify the circuit panel to be off-grid instead of on-grid. And all that would require is taking the wires out of the weatherhead pipe that runs up to the roof and hooking in the solar system. That was it. That's all that had to be done there. Well, these guys went in there and they cut wires and they punched holes in the walls. They punched a hole in a wall to move an electrical box 4 inches to the right and put a new box in against the stud. And they punched 2 big 9-inch holes in the wall to do that. And then they wired the electrical outlet backwards. They put the neutral in the hot side and the hot side in the neutral. And every single piece of Romex that they pulled through that house, they cut the ground wire off flush with the insulation right where it comes into the box. Imagine that? The ground wires are all gone. And then I just looked up in the attic today, and the attic's pretty big. I mean, I can stand up and walk in the attic. That's how much space there is in the attic of this place. But I looked up in there, and all of the wiring that they pulled, all the Romex that's pulled through there, wherever they tied that wire to another wire to go down a wall or whatever, instead of putting a J-box in there with a cover, they just twisted the wires together and taped them with electrical tape. They didn't even use wire nuts on them. I mean, come on. So now I'm redoing the whole job to find a direct short, because 2 of the rooms, I've already replaced the panel. They cut the earth ground off at the base of the panel, the existing panel that was there, and just had no ground to the panel at all. I can't believe the stuff that these guys did. It's ridiculous. So anyway, you know, I'd like to just run into them once just so I can punch them in the mouth. But that's what you get when you try to save a buck by hiring those guys that are hanging out in the Home Depot parking lot. And let me tell you, anybody that's hanging out in a Home Depot parking lot trying to get work means that they are not hireable. They can't get work, because there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of construction companies out there that can use qualified electricians and even electrician helpers, guys that know what they're doing. These guys did not know anything about electricity. And just aggravates me that they rip people off like that and they get away with it. And Home Depot should be ashamed of themselves for letting these people hang out in the parking lots. And that's my opinion. And you might say, well, it's nice that these guys are at least trying to find work. Yeah, but they don't know what they're doing, and they're setting up a disaster for the people that they're working for. Now, if this family with 2 kids moved into that house and there's no grounds in anything, nothing is grounded, somebody is going to die in there. You know, that's it. Somebody's going to die because they're going to be the ground. There's no ground in any of the electrical outlets, in any of the lighting, nothing like that. And there's one set of wiring in there on one corner of the house. That's why I'm going through all the wiring. It's directly shorted. If you put an ohm meter across from the black hot wire to the neutral wire, it's got a reading. The two are connected. If you go from the hot wire to the ground wire, the two are connected. So somewhere along the line, these guys crossed wires in one of the taped junctions they did up in the attic. So I got to go up there tomorrow, work in an attic in 100-degree temperature, and put boxes in and take every piece of wiring apart, test it for continuity to see which one is shorted, and from there I can correct the problem so that these people can have electricity in the house. Amazing. Amazing. So what do you guys think about all that? Pretty crazy, isn't it? Leave me a comment below. I'll be glad to answer you, and I'll also like to show it to the people. I'm sure they're not going to ever hire anybody from Home Depot parking lot again. But that's what you get. Thanks a lot. This is G Bear signing off.